You know, it's funny. You spend months planning something perfect, saving every penny for it. And then, in a split second, your world gets turned upside down. My mom fell and broke her hip. It was bad, a full-on emergency, and everything else just went out the window. My girlfriend, Mallerie, on the other hand, she saw it as an opportunity. A chance to go on the vacation I had planned with my money and somehow make it all about her. We had our bags packed for Vegas, our anniversary trip. For days, a decent hotel, some shows. The whole thing was going to cost about $3,000. I'd saved up for it, for us. Then the call came about my mom. The doctor said she needed surgery and someone had to be there for the recovery. So I sat Mallerie down at dinner, trying to be gentle about it. "Babe, I'm so sorry, but I got to go help my mom," I told her. "We'll have to postpone the trip." She had this face. I'll never forget it. It went from disappointment to this strange kind of calculation, like she was doing a mental cost-benefit analysis. Then, a second later, it all morphed into fake sympathy. "Oh no, that's terrible," she said, but her voice was a little too light. "Would she be okay?" "Yeah, but I'll need to fly out there instead of Vegas. We can postpone the trip," or I trailed off, not even finishing the sentence. But she had already zeroed in on that one word. "Or," she said, dragging it out, twirling her pasta around her fork. "I could still go. I mean, the room's already paid for. It seems a bit wasteful not to use it." A little alarm bell went off in my head. The way she said it, it was too fast, too cold. But I was so wrapped up in my mom's situation, I just couldn't think straight. "I guess that makes sense," I said. "The hotel's non-refundable anyway." She practically bounced in her seat. A second ago, she was sympathetic about my mom, and now she was giddy about a girl's trip to Vegas. That should have been my first clue. "You're the best," she gushed, grabbing my hands. "I'll be super careful with money, I promise. Maybe just give me one of your cards for emergencies, just in case." There it was. Red flag number 2. Mallerie made decent money as a dental hygienist. She wasn't broke, so why would she need my card? Again, my brain was just foggy with worry. I handed her my Visa, the one with a $5,000 limit. Like an idiot. The day she left, I was already at my mom's place, settling in. I got a text as her plane took off. "Mallerie, boarding now. Don't worry about anything. Just focus on your mom. Love you." I read it, and for a second, I thought, okay, maybe I judged her too harshly. Maybe she was actually trying to be supportive in her own way. My mom's surgery went well. I spent the first day at the hospital talking to doctors, making sure she was comfortable. That night, exhausted, I finally had a minute to breathe. I opened my credit card app just to check things. And that's when my heart sank. $1,200. Charged. Already. In just one day. I scrolled through the transactions, and it was a gut punch. A fancy restaurant, $340. Some nightclub, $280. $100 at the hotel spa. A bunch of other random retail charges. I felt this cold dread wash over me. This wasn't an emergency. This was a party. My money was funding a party. I texted her. "Hey, saw some big charges on the card. Everything okay?" Hours later, she replied. "OMG, babe, prices here are insane, but don't worry, Brittany's paying me back for half of everything." Brittany wasn't paying her back for a single thing. I knew it. I tried calling, but it went straight to voicemail. I texted her again, more pointedly this time. "Please be careful with spending. That card is for emergencies only." Her response, that was the moment everything changed. It wasn't a text. It was a selfie. A picture of her from a pool party with the caption, "Having the time of my life without you." And a stupid little face blowing a kiss emoji. Something in me just snapped. I looked at the charges again. Bottle service. Designer sunglasses. A purse. My emergency card was funding her shopping spree and her girls' trip while I was sitting in a hospital, spoon-feeding my mother Jell-O. I took a deep breath, and I called the credit card company. My hand was shaking a little bit. "I'd like to report my card as stolen," I said. The woman on the other end was all business. "I'm sorry to hear that, sir. When did you notice it was missing?" "This morning," I said, the lie feeling like a perfectly legitimate truth. "I'm traveling for a family emergency and just realized it's gone." "No problem," she said. "We'll cancel it immediately and send a replacement to your address on file. Any charges from today forward will be reversed. Thank you. Was it technically true? No. Was I beyond caring? Absolutely. I'd seen the charges. I'd seen the selfie. It wasn't about the money anymore. It was about the utter disrespect, the betrayal. And I was done with it. I was done with her. I knew the fireworks were coming. About 18
and
hours
honestly,
for the fireworks
I
to
couldn't
start. I was at my mom's house, helping her with some physical therapy exercises. She was trying to lift her leg, and it was tough going, you know? Just as she finally got a few inches off the bed, my phone started exploding. It vibrated so hard on a nightstand it almost fell off. 23 missed calls, 40-plus texts, all from Mallerie. I didn't answer. I just kept helping my mom. But I couldn't resist glancing at the notifications. The highlights were a work of art. WTF? My card isn't working. Brett, this isn't funny. I'm at a restaurant. They think I'm trying to scam them. Call me right now. This is humiliating. Brittany had to pay, and she's pissed. Why aren't you answering? Your card got declined at the club. Security is being mean to me. And my personal favorite. I know you're seeing these. And she was right. I finally replied to one of the later texts with just 2 words. Same here. Then I muted her conversations and went back to helping my mom. The call started coming from other numbers after that. Brittany mostly. I let them all go to voicemail. I listened to one of them later on speaker with my best friend, and we were in tears laughing. My favorite part was Brittany screeching about how I was ruining their girl's trip, and how dare I financially abuse Mallerie. Financial abuse. That's what they call me canceling my own credit card. By day 3, the text had evolved. Mallerie had finally figured out what happened. You reported the card stolen. Are you insane? She wrote. I have expenses. The hotel is expecting tips. How am I supposed to get food? This is so controlling and abusive. I'm stuck here with no money. I read that last line and I just stopped. Couple things about that. 1, she had her own credit cards. 2, she had a debit card. 3, she had a job that paid decent money. And 4, she chose to blow all her cash the first day, assuming she had mine as backup. But sure, she was stuck. Then came the email. Oh, the email. I'll summarize it because it was about 2,000 words of pure, unadulterated entitlement. The subject line was urgent. I'm reconsidering our entire relationship. It started with a tirade about how I had the audacity to strand her in a strange city, Vegas, a city where, millions of tourists somehow survive daily. She then went on to say that I was controlling and manipulative for simply protecting my own finances, and that she was reconsidering our entire relationship because of it. I'm paraphrasing here, but it was basically, I was probably enjoying this. You must be seeing me suffer. Yeah, a little. Her friends all think I'm abusive now. Translation, she needed someone to blame, and I was the obvious choice. She had to borrow money from Brittany, and it was humiliating. Good. I better be prepared to pay Brittany back immediately. LOL. No, but the absolute best part, the part that made my blood run cold, then boil over with a different kind of anger, was the detailed list of everything she planned to buy with my card. She actually wrote it all out. Matching designer bags for her and Brittany. $3,400. A helicopter tour of the Grand Canyon. $600 per person. VIP concert tickets to some DJ. $500 each. Investment pieces from high-end stores. Undefined, but probably thousands. She actually thought I'd feel bad about ruining her shopping plans with my money. While my mom was learning to walk again, I couldn't even believe it. I forwarded the entire email to my best friend Alex with a single comment. Note how she never once asks about my mom. That was the last nail in the coffin. It was over, and she had no idea. She thought this was a battle for her to win. It was a battle I had already won, and she was only just now getting the memo. I knew it wasn't over yet, though. She wasn't just going to disappear. I knew she'd be back, because as entitled as she was also completely broke. And that, I knew, would bring her home. I guess Vegas isn't as much fun when you can't spend someone else's money. I was still in my mom's place when her text started bombing my phone again. This time, she was back home and, as she put it, wanted to talk like adults. I'm back, her text read. We need to discuss what happened. I'll come by your place at 7. I just stared at my phone for a second. The audacity. My reply was short. I'm still with my mom. She needs me here. Her response came back instantly. Are you serious right now? We have a relationship emergency, and you're prioritizing your mother? That text told me everything I needed to know about our future. There was no going back from that. I felt this incredible surge of calm. The anger was gone, replaced by a cold certainty. She had just given me my final answer. Yes, I typed. I'm prioritizing my mother, who just had major surgery over your Vegas tantrum. Don't go to my place. You're no longer welcome there. She went nuclear. Tantrum? You stole from me. Explain how I stole from you by canceling my own credit card. I had plans with that money. Asterisk your asterisk plans? Your wants? My money. See the problem? Couples share things, Brett. That's what adults do. Adults ask before taking. Adults have their own money for vacations. Adults don't blow $1,200 in one day on someone else's card. It's Vegas. Everything's expensive. You knew that when you said I could go. I said you could use the room. I gave you the card for emergencies. Bottle service isn't an emergency. You're being financially abusive. I'm done with this conversation. We're over. Mail me my spare key. The phone started ringing. It was her. I let it go to voicemail. Then my mom's house phone started ringing. My mom's house phone. The one she never called. I answered, and it was her. I barely got a word in before she started trying to explain how I was being cruel and unusual. I just listened, holding the phone away from my ear, watching my mom, who was sitting on the couch, sipping a cup of tea. My 68-year-old mother, hopped up on pain meds, looked at me, and held out her hand for the phone. I handed it to her. She held the phone to her ear for a moment, listening to Mallerie's rant. Then, in a voice that was soft but razor-sharp, she said, "Sweetheart, any woman who takes advantage of a man while he's caring for his injured mother is no woman at all." She paused for a beat. "Please don't call here again." Then she hung up and looked at me, a tiny, mischievous smile on her face. "Could you give me some more tea, honey?" Savage. Mallerie didn't take the breakup well. Over the next 2 weeks, while I was still helping my mom recover, she pulled every trick in the book. First, she tried the guilt route. She sent me pictures of bills she claimed she couldn't pay because she'd spent all her money in Vegas expecting to use mine. Electric bill, car payment, rent. I hope you're happy. I'm going to be evicted because of you. I didn't respond, but I did the math. She made about $65,000 a year. Her rent was $1,200 a month. If 3 days in Vegas broke her that badly, that was her problem. Then she tried the sympathy route. Claimed she was having panic attacks about her finances. She sent me links to articles about financial anxiety and stress. Said I traumatized her relationship with money. Still didn't respond. Then came the threats. She was going to sue me for the money she'd spent, expecting to be reimbursed by my card. Her exact words: "My lawyer says what you did constitutes fraud." That made me laugh out loud. I actually responded this time. "Please have your lawyer contact mine." Then I sent her my buddy's info. He's a lawyer who found the whole situation hilarious and said he'd love to see her try. I never heard from any lawyer. But the absolute peak, the absolute pinnacle of her entitlement was when she showed up at my work. My first day back from 2 weeks of family leave, just trying to catch up on everything, and reception calls. "Brett, there's a Mallerie here to see you. Says it's urgent." I went down to the lobby, and there she was. Full makeup, dressed to kill, holding a cardboard box. This was it, the final show. She was. I just knew it. Full makeup, dressed to kill, holding a cardboard box. This was the final act, and she was playing it up for the whole reception area. "We need to talk," she said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "This is my workplace. Please leave. Not until you hear me out. I have your things." She held up the box. "And you have some mine I need back." I glanced inside the box. Some old t-shirts, a phone charger. Maybe $20 worth of stuff total. But I knew this wasn't about the things. "Fine," I said, sighing. "What do you need back?" "The Roomba I bought you for Christmas." I just looked at her. "You mean the Roomba you bought with the gift card my mom gave you specifically to buy me a gift?" Her face went red. "Also the air fryer," she said, her voice a little quieter. "That was a housewarming gift." "Gifts aren't loans," I said, leaning in slightly. "You're really going to be this petty about kitchen appliances?" You showed up at my job to demand a Roomba. Who's being petty? She switched tactics then. The tears started. Not a full-on sob, but the quiet, dignified kind meant to tug on heartstrings. I thought we had something special. How can you throw it all away over one mistake? One mistake. I shook my head slowly. You took my credit card on vacation and tried to spend thousands of dollars without asking. That's not a mistake. That's theft. The tears stopped like someone had turned off a faucet. I was going to pay you back. When? How? You can't even pay your own bills. She grasped for something, anything to hurt me. You're going to regret this. I know things about you. Embarrassing things. Like what? Like how you still sleep with that stupid bear your grandma made you. I just looked at her, and then I nodded to the security guard who had been watching this whole thing unfold. Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave, he said. As they escorted her out, she yelled back over her shoulder. This isn't over, Brett. You owe me. It was, in fact, completely over. It's been 3 months since Vegas. Mallerie made a few more attempts to get money from me, each one more desperate than the last. She created a detailed spreadsheet of everything she'd ever bought during our relationship and sent me an invoice for $3,847. It included things like gas to drive to your place and birthday dinner I paid for emotional labor. I framed it. It's hanging in my home office as a reminder to trust my gut. She tried going through mutual friends, telling them I'd left her destitute. Most of them knew better, but a few tried to guilt me into helping her out. Those friendships didn't survive my explanation of what really happened. The best part, though, was about a month after everything went down. Brittany reached out. Turns out Mallerie never paid her back for covering those Vegas expenses, almost $2,000 worth. Brittany wanted to know if I'd cover it, since it was my card that got declined. Brittany, let me get this straight, I said to her on the phone. You went to Vegas with my girlfriend, watched her spend my money like water, enabled the whole thing, and now you want me to pay you back because my card got rightfully declined? Well, when you put it like that, have you considered taking it up with the person who actually owes you money? She says she's broke. Then you learn an expensive lesson about who to trust with money. She called me an asshole and hung up. Fair enough. Mallory's last attempt was just 2 weeks ago. She sent me a Venmo request for $50 with a note for the emotional labor of teaching you how to be in a relationship. I declined it with a note of my own. For the financial education of teaching you credit cards have owners. She blocked me after that. Finally, looking back, the red flags were everywhere. The way she always forgot her wallet. How she'd order the most expensive thing on the menu whenever I was paying. The designer purse she bought herself for me for her birthday using my Amazon account. My mom's doing great now, by the way. Full recovery, walking without assistance. She loves telling the story of how she told off my ex while high on pain meds. Says it was the best medicine she got. As for me, I'm good. Dating isn't on my radar right now, but when it is, I'll be a lot smarter about it. Separate finances until marriage. Clear boundaries. And if someone ever says they need my credit card for emergencies on a girl's trip, that's going to be a hard pass. Oh, and I did eventually get a new Roomba. I bought myself with my own credit card that nobody else has access to.